And leave it to contrarian badass Reggie Middleton.
Reggie walks in looking really cool. He's got a Google Glass on, and I'm like, man, that's cool. And
did he walk like that?
Yeah, he walked like that. That's how you walk if you've got Google Glass on. Everyone walks real cool.
Nuts. He called the housing crash. He called the collapse of Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers. He's been harping on the crisis in the Eurozone banking system for years now, so he's just the guy to talk to.
Reggie Middleton.
Reggie Middleton.
Reggie Middleton.
Oh, he doesn't mince his words. We're talking about Reggie Middleton.
Ooh, it's Reggie Middleton.
Greetings all, Reggie Middleton here. You know, a few years ago there was this B-rated, one of these B horror movies. It was called I Know What You Did Last Summer. And it was about, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't know what it was about because I didn't see it. But the trailers made it seem like it was about these kids on summer break, teenagers driving along the highways, drunken, etc. And they hit this man. I was walking the road at night. And they did a hit and run and drove off, presuming he was dead. It was a big no-no. Well, guess what? Apparently, that man was not dead, and he came back and started haunting them. They had to pay for their error, for their misgivings. Well, Deutsche Bank, who I've been harping on for the last couple of weeks, very similar movie can be made. Deutsche Bank, I Know What You Did Last Summer. And summer before last and summer before that, dating all the way back to 2007. You see, Deutsche Bank has been a very, very bad bank. Deutsche Bank has basically engaged in the same thing that many other banks have, but Deutsche Bank has been a bit more sloppy. Okay? Now, I have a significant amount of research on Deutsche Bank, going through all their risk analysis reports, etc. It's up for sale. Yes, we're a for-profit outfit. And just to tell you, if you don't follow us and follow Reggie Middleton, Veritasium, and the Boom Bust blog team, whose research is now going through Veritasium, we're the entities who called the fall of Bear Stearns in 2008, January 2008. 3 months later, in March of 2008, we called the insolvency and fall of Lehman Brothers. Roughly 6 months later, Washington Mutual, Countrywide, General Growth Properties, all these companies went bye-bye. They all went bye-bye no less than 2 months after our reporting. We know what we're doing, okay? Now, during that time, there was a significant theme, you know, of basically bad credits, significant imbalance of liabilities, assets, asset liability mismatch, etc. So once you got the theme going, you could call a lot of banks. But guess what? Just under 10 years later, here we go again. Okay, and we're on a roll here. So anybody who's interested in our research, we portray our research as education, basically as knowledge units. We have Deutsche Bank. We have introductory units for, in case you're not an investment expert, we actually teach you how to do comparative evaluation. $50, very inexpensive, because we want to make this open to everybody. Individual reports from $250 to $750, including Deutsche Bank's risk analysis, where I go through the relevant parts of their financial reporting, and their financial reporting is a doozy. Roughly 440 pages for the annual report for 2015, another 300 to 400 pages in financial supplements. Now, 700 to 800 pages to describe what you did last summer. Why? Of course. Look at how many pages of fine print footnotes you can bury things in. But does it work? For most people, yes. For the sell-side analysts who don't think Deutsche Bank is a goner, yes. For possibly rating agencies, yes. For Team Veritasium, no. We know what you did last summer. Okay? Read through this stuff. It's just like a B-rated or one of those B-class horror movies. We also have, and I'm going to get back to Deutsche Bank in a minute, we also have Banco Popular Milano. The two are supposed to be stated for mergers. We had two bearish reports that came out early last spring. 45% lower share price later. Voila. Our methodology works. What is our methodology? Forensic analysis, fundamental analysis, old school counting. 1 + 1 = 2. Going through the balance sheets, counting the cash, looking for lies, looking for the truth. Add some macro in there. Here we go. Now, back to Deutsche Bank. Okay. About 3 days ago, no, last week, a week and a half ago, I made a challenge to the entire sell-side analytical community on Wall Street. I challenged them, beat me to finding the bank's about to go boom. Nobody's taken up the challenge yet. In the meantime, I pulled out Deutsche Bank, Deutsche Bank subsidiary Zetra Gold. Amazing, amazing. From a layman's perspective, it looks fraudulent, but it's really just misrepresentation, a different type of crime. But let's move forward from there. Now we have my first Deutsche Bank, or second Deutsche Bank official bear report. And during that report, I decided to turn the clients and customers who are not familiar with blockchain technology, of which we have our first patent applications on. I think we beat everybody, all the banks, etc. I offered them smart contracts, basically Deutsche Bank short contracts, where the value of the contract goes up 5 basis points for every basis point that Deutsche Bank goes down. We're offering this as a freebie. Think of it as a refund on or a partial rebate on some of our research that goes up in value as the research is proven correct. Okay, this is apart and away from whatever you may do with the research, such as short-term Deutsche Bank, buy puts, credit default swaps, etc. Okay, so I made the offer. I created the smart contracts. Anybody who held those smart contracts, when I made the offer, that was, I can't remember the day, the night after, Deutsche Bank, the Department of Justice announced that they were asking for $14 billion from Deutsche Bank, right, to settle the outstanding MBA and mortgage-backed securities debacle. Deutsche Bank tanked 9%. Those contracts went up in value 45%. 5 times 9, 45%. Overnight. Shows the blockchain work. This is simple. All you need to do is have a proprietary wallet. It's a proprietary wallet based on open source code, by the way. The assets, and it goes up. We're funding everything, absolutely no risk to you. You get to see how the blockchain works. We're still offering the 5 times leverage short Deutsche Bank contracts. We're also offering 5 times leverage long gold, depending on what you want to do. We'll even do a gold for Deutsche Bank, where you go long gold exposure, short Deutsche Bank exposure, 5 times leverage. This is our perk. Very similar to this crowdfunding sites like Kickstarter and Indiegogo. If you support our project, if you buy our product, we'll give you a special etched, product. We'll give you an extra widget, special color widget. We're giving you the future of finance, peer-to-peer economy, made real. The actual short contract with Deutsche Bank without access to any exchange, broker, etc. This is real deal stuff, people. So, moving on now to the next step. As I said, Deutsche Bank management, I know what you did last summer. Now, don't shoot the messenger. Don't hate me, okay? Simply analytical. Deutsche Bank knew the DOJ thing was coming about. If you take a look at their risk reporting, Deutsche Bank's risk capital reserve doubled from 2014 and 2015. tad over $30 billion to a tad under $60 billion. Why in the world would you put nearly $30 billion in addition to this risk-weighted capital reserve? Well, it happened in the brokerage and operations segment. The brokerage and operations segment contains that entire operating portion that had to do with the mortgage-backed securities fraud. I don't think we call it fraud as of yet. Let's do it from a layman's perspective. So we take the legal stuff. Fraud. Okay, they misled their clients. So Deutsche Bank reserved an extra $30 billion. This is in addition. Now the footnote said that it had to do it because of an increase of recalibration of their models that increased or captured additional risk outside of litigation. Litigation, they reserved for $5 billion. Okay, as you can see, that $14 billion request is a lot more than $5 billion. Now, a lot of pundits and Deutsche Bank itself said that they have no intention of paying $14 billion. I'm sure the Department of Justice doesn't really give, a rat's anus hair what Deutsche Bank intends to do. But let's suppose they're able to negotiate down to the average of what the other competing and peer banks have negotiated in settlement, which is about $8.1 billion. That's a lot. It blows out the litigation reserve that Deutsche Bank has. At $14 billion, that's over 70% of Deutsche Bank's market capitalization. Stakeholders wiped out. Deutsche Bank wiped out. That $14 billion sounds a lot like the $14 billion that the EC and the EU is demanding that Apple pay retroactively in back taxes to the Irish government, despite the fact the Irish government said that Apple is in compliance with taxes. So you see some nationalism, some protectionism going on. Of course, that is, you hear say it's, how shall I put it, a conspiracy theory, but it sure sounds damn accurate, doesn't it? But we don't need conspiracy theory because we have facts and numbers to go on. Remember, Deutsche Bank, I know what you did last summer. So moving forward, we have significant other faux pas, misdirection, and I don't want to be more stringent than that we found throughout Deutsche Bank's reporting. A whole lot of it, 113 pages that we went through, we've annotated, put our notes on, and we have our own analysis as well. Outside of Deutsche Bank, we went through the Italian banking system, the macro environment in Italy. Early spring, roughly about 6 months ago, we went through Banco Popular Milano was supposed to merge. Came up extreme bear reports there. A lot of analysts were actually bullish, saying that some of the sell side were overdoing it. 40 to 45% lower in the share price, we stand vindicated with both of those banks. Those reports are up, very, very educational. Not just the bank entity reports, but the macro sector as well. We did the entire European banking sector as well. Okay, I'm very bearish on all of it. We also have a direct counterparty of Deutsche Bank. We've identified that we believe their share price will drop 27% from here because the market doesn't realize what's going on. We have a full report, qualitative analysis, and we have the full model, valuation points, targets, the whole nine. All up for sale. It starts from $50 for the beginner and novice, and show you how to compare comparative valuation. We have 250 to 750 tranches for individual banks, and for $1,200, you get knowledge module slices, where you could get 1 or 2 banks at a time, or you could subscribe for institutions. $3,000 to $5,000, you get everything that we offer, and I'll give you access to speak to our analysts for ad hoc questions, up to a point of cost. All this, and you get the blockchain contracts. Short Deutsche Bank for Deutsche Bank analysis. You want to do Italian banks, you do short those. You do a little bit of everything. Our offerings, pure knowledge. Everybody has access to this information. Of course, not everybody has access to private information, but there's enough, especially in the European banking sector, with their relatively stringent reporting requirements. A lot of it is there. People aren't looking. Then once you get the information, there does seem to be a lacking in turning this information into know-how. Okay? Knowledge. That's where we reign supreme. Blockchain technology. Knowledge. Alpha. Come see me. In the meantime, au revoir. Peace. Ciao. Next time we report, I'm going to give you another typical on Deutsche Bank. Every 24 to 48 hours, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then we're going to have the entire financial community turning around saying, Deutsche Bank, I know what you did last summer.